Hello and welcome back to Just Info. In this video I will show you how to fix your Wi-Fi not working on Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. Let's begin! So, first of all we want to expand our control center and then press and hold onto the internet icon. Now you want to make sure that you have it actually enabled, otherwise it just won't work. Then we want to navigate into our network we want to choose. So for example, I will choose this one. Of course, currently my network won't really work because I'm just not connected to my network. So let's input its password. But of course, if you don't really know where you can find that password, I would just advise you to search for around the router, because usually the password is, well, it's not always the case, but usually it's some sort of sticker next to the router or under the router. And of course, if you can't really find it, you can always scan the QR code from a family member or like your friend or roommate or whoever else. So now we can go to connect. And we are connected. And of course, if it's not working for you, you can always go into disconnect. You can leave it for a moment and you can try to connect to it once again. However, if your Wi-Fi isn't still working, you can just always click forget and try to reconnect to it once again. Or alternatively, we can go in here and press this reset icon, which will just reset our internet to its base setting. This does the same thing that would happen if you would restart your phone from the scratch, but instead of restarting everything, it only restarts your device, which I believe is really cool. And is this all for this video? Well, nope. Usually the Wi-Fi isn't working not because something is out with your phone, but because something is out with your router instead. So what you want to do is you want to just reboot your router. How you can do it? Well, luckily for you, you can easily do that by just heading into your router and unplugging it from electricity. This way, you're going to restart it, and you probably want to leave it unplugged for a couple of seconds, maybe like a few minutes, and then you want to plug it once again. If it's not working, then there is something very wrong going on. And luckily for you, you can just use the ability to connect and contact your internet provider, because if you don't really have anything, if you don't really have your internet and yet you're paying for it, you probably want to contact your internet provider and ask them what's going on, because if you have already tried everything, so if you have already reconnected back to your Wi-Fi, if you have rebooted your Wi-Fi on your phone, and if you have rebooted your router, and yet you still don't have Wi-Fi, then there's probably something wrong with the Wi-Fi itself. And you just want to contact your internet provider and ask them, like, hey man, what's going on? I'm paying for this and yet I have no internet connection. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.